In this video, we're going to be going over how to get your dog trained on a leash. And the way we are going to be doing that is I'm going to be showing footage of me walking Mowgli on a walk that, just a regular walk. And then I'm going to be telling you how I got him to get to this point and the training you're probably going to be needing to do or any other equipment you're going to need. So the first basic thing for training your dog is if they're at least over 30 pounds, I would say, then you should definitely get a prong collar, which this is the contraption I'm using on him right now. It's not a choke collar. I did a video on that before. Go check it out. But a prong collar pretty much is just a tool you use to get them to respond to a message saying, oh, don't be sniffing that, or come over here. When, let's say he's going too far, when that clicks, he'll stop. So that's one of the first things I'd say, that if you have a larger dog breed, then get a prong collar, because you're not going to be able to control them without it. We can't even go anywhere without a prong collar. He's well trained. He's just so huge that nothing even gets him to stop. So that's the first thing for getting your dog leash trained. Come on. So this is a good situation. He's focused on something. He probably saw an animal. I can't say its name, but he probably saw something that's distracting. But notice how, I can tell because his tail's perked up a bit more. He's getting quiet and he's really serious right now. So let's say your dog, if they saw something, they would run off and they would start pulling or barking at it. That's why the prong collar is such a good tool. So let's say he's going off, I already showed you an example, but all I have to do is quick pull and he comes over. Well, I've gotten him trained to come over. After that, you can have him, you could get him to sit after he does that or something else, but that's another thing the prong collar is good for. But also, when you're training your dog, you could use treats all the time. Dogs are really treat motivated, it seems like. Sometimes they're more play motivated or something, but as long as I have a bag of treats on me, he's gonna listen to me forever. So that's one of the things you have to do if you're gonna own a dog, especially if it's a bigger one, because they start to pull and you have to be a bit more careful with what they do. Can't get away with as many things. So treats, prong collar, all that type of stuff is everything you have to live with now. So that was the second thing. The third thing is that if your dog is on a harness or anything, I recommend not using that, because harnesses, I feel like, are a gimmick. So as soon as you can, really start getting them to use a choke chain, or not a choke chain, we don't really like those, but a prong collar or some sort of tool that helps you hold them back a bit more if they're a bigger dog, or just getting them to be really treat motivated. So always consistently giving them treats, having them focused on you, and that would be the third thing. The fourth one I would say is really making sure that your dog doesn't break any boundaries. So really just keeping consistently the same exact rules, and maybe even going to new parks and stuff, having them exposed to different trails, because they get a little bored if you go on the same walk every single time. But if you get them exposed to new things, it'll help them socialize, and they won't freak out at everything. And also, you want to make sure that your dog isn't jumping up, because that can be mixed messages to allow your dog to break more boundaries. It also, to them, it could be a dominating thing. I know sometimes it's an affectionate thing that some dogs do and some dog owners let their dogs do, but it's really not healthy for your dog to be thinking he can do that, because especially if it's a boy or if they're not neutered, because then they're going to start to break more boundaries or pull you into playing, which you can play with your dog, yes, but you just don't want to be biting or wrestling, because that's this type of stuff that they do with other dogs, and then they're going to stop seeing you as an owner and start not listening to you more. So that was the 5th tip for dog leash training. That's all for this video. That was 5 tips on how to get your dog better trained on a leash. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. It helps the video a lot. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.